going on?
Nothing. And how is everybody doing today?
Good. I'm good.
All right. So, we're going to go back to the beginning. When you think back to your earliest memories, what do they tell you about the environment you were raised in?
See now versus then. Back then, it was a lot more connectivity. It was a lot more family orientated. The neighborhoods was more together. It was more of a sense of family in the neighborhood.
And what do your earliest memories also tell you about the home you were raised in?
Love, caring. I mean, I had my mom, my sister, my stepdad, my real dad lived a couple doors down, so it was always I always had support and all that.
All right. Now, growing up, where did you feel the most protected and or seen?
I never felt unprotected, but the most seen was probably with my papa, my grandpa, Robert Jones, man. Back Daddy Jones, man. I love that boy. He was
And where did you feel you were the most vulnerable or overlooked?
Wait, say that one more time.
Where do you feel you were the most vulnerable and or you were overlooked?
Nowhere. Nowhere. I can't I honestly nowhere. It was always a sense of they always seen me. They always seen me. My moms, my aunts, everybody. Like I'm just was one of those individuals who everybody loved. I just was bad.
All right, now, as a young boy becoming a man, what ideas about masculinity were you surrounded by?
Um, I don't know. My step pop, he was a little more on the metrosexual tip, and my real dad, he just I don't know. But the people that but the stuff that I liked it and idolized was the drug dealers, the boys that was on the corner with the Saabs and the Benzes and all that. That's what I wanted. I wanted that. I wanted to pull up in the Saab. I mean, they corny now, but back then they was that was what all the dope boys drew. Saabs and Benzes and Volvos and all that.
And now, with you looking up to them, how do you think that shaped you as becoming a man?
Um, say that one more time.
So, with you looking up to them, how do you feel like that shaped you into becoming a man as you were growing up?
I guess I kind of like repeated the stuff that I seen them do. I wanted to go out and sell drugs. I wanted to go out and fuck as many as girls as I could. I just, I don't know. I wanted to be like them. So I started doing the things that I thought that they did. And, ended up running into consequences of that.
All right, now school is often a mirror of childhood. So, what was your experience with education, and was there anyone along the way who truly believed in you?
Um, like I said before, I love school. That was where all the girls was at. And I don't know. I always had a desire to want to learn. Like even still, like I like learning. Yeah, man, I'm working on my third language. I like learning. And my fifth grade teacher, her name was Miss Sanders. I loved it, that lady. Not like on a lustful tip, but like on a motherly tip. She was always there for me. She always wanted to help me and always push me further. I still wanted to be the class clown, but she always pushed me and she'd call my mom and tell on me and all kind of stuff, man. She was special to me.
All right, so looking back on your teenage years, can you point us to a moment or season that you now realize that, okay, maybe I have went down the wrong path?
think I want to say like in two, 2004. That's when I really like I started kind of like migrating down Southwest Philadelphia, and they was already playing with guns. See, I just was selling a little weed and all that, but they was already playing with guns. And then once I got one of them in my hand, it was like all over.
All right. As life got heavier, how did you learn to handle pain, pressure, and or anger?
Um, I just push all that stuff down, and I mean, looking at it now, it's really a problem. But I usually just suppress all the pain and anger and depression, and then when it comes to a head, I'm here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay.
It's when you bottle your feelings up and you push them down until that bottle has reached its capacity.
Yeah.
Everything just explodes.
Like we got right, and then stuff happen that get me here.
Now, over your time there, have you learned any coping mechanisms? And if so, where did they come from?
Yeah, I got coping mechanisms. I like to laugh. Um, my baby right there, she's my comfort. She's a coping mechanism. I call her when I stress out. Um, and again, just pushing stuff to the side, laughing it off, and just smiling to keep from crying. And I don't know where I developed that coping mechanism from. It just came.
All right. The places we grow up in matter. So, how did your neighborhood and or community influence the paths you felt were possible for you?
Um, I don't know. See, Marvin Harrison and all them is from down my way. So I had examples of people who made it, and you know what I'm saying. I had examples. But it was just so much easier to do it the wrong way. It was easier to do it from the streets, right? And I wasn't never really like a sports boy or none of that. But I had examples of people who made it through the struggle and did it the right way. But selling drugs was always easier. The streets was always more attractive.
There's often a moment when childhood ends. So, when did you first feel the full weight of adult responsibility, and what was your response to that?
January 30th, 2008, my first son was born. That's when the reality of adulthood really hit me. And it ain't no manuscript for parenting and none of that. And me, I was immature. My baby mom's still immature, and it just we was taking things one step at a time, trying to figure it out.
With the perspective you have now, how do you understand the choices that ultimately led to your incarceration?
Taking my time, taking the extra minute or two to think about stuff before I do. This could have easily been avoided. I could have easily just let this slide, but I let my pride get in the way. I let what I thought people would have thought of me dictate my pace. And them people don't even matter. That's the crazy part is they don't even matter. I don't even talk to most of them. None of them are really maybe two. I don't even talk to these people. They don't reach out. They ain't dropping no chicken off to my mom. They ain't nothing. It's like you start to love the streets, and the streets never love you back.
Mm-hmm.
And it took for me to get this kind of time and had these kind of experiences to realize that it's just not worth it.
All right. Today, in this moment, How has incarceration changed you, and what does the next chapter of your life look like to you?
The possibilities is limitless. I'm in love. I'm ready to get married, love, and I got the woman in my dreams. She's like a female me. I never thought I'd find one, but I did. And the crazy part is she was like almost kind of always there. I hate that it took for me to get 25 to 50 for her to realize it, but you know what I mean?
All right. What does being corrigible actually look like in practice, especially when facing the harm you caused?
And you said corrigible, like being able to be corrected.
Yeah.
Um, I always I was always somebody that'll listen. Like I told you, I like learning. So um, this never really was a problem for me being. Can you repeat that question one more time?
No problem. What does being corrigible actually look like in practice, especially when facing the harm you caused?
What does it look like? Well, it looks like just taking time to be open and receptive to whatever information that it is that that individual is giving to you. Sometimes it's difficult to take criticism or even constructive criticism. Sometimes it's difficult. Nobody really likes to be wrong. But being open to knowing that you could possibly be wrong is like the first step to making things change, if that makes sense.
All right. How do we distinguish genuine remorse from regret driven by consequences like incarceration or public shame?
All right. Initially, I was only sorry because I got caught, and then I let the anger set in for a few years, and then my kids started, you know what I mean, asking questions. Dad, when you gonna come home? Dad, can I want to break you out, Dad, and all this kind of craziness, and then the sadness kicked in,
Mm.
and then and then the, and then the realization of the realization of my actions and the consequences of it started to sit in, and then I'm like, damn, like I didn't just ruin my life, ruin his life, his family, his kids, my family, my kids. It's just a whole lot of unforeseen consequences that I just never took into consideration when I was running around.
Now, is remorse something that should be felt privately or demonstrated through consistent action over time?
I think a little bit of both. I think a little bit of both. I mean, it starts in the inside privately, but yeah, I think that it should be demonstrations of how sorry you are. You know what I mean? It should be demonstrated, yes, and it should be dealt with at first privately. Yes, you should feel bad about the stuff that you do wrong, or if you wrong somebody or something like that. It starts with you, and then the outside.
Now, who do you feel like should decide whether someone deserves a second chance? The justice system, the harmed parties, the community, or the individual themselves?
Say that one more time.
Who do you feel like should decide whether someone deserves a second chance? The justice system, the harmed parties, the community, or the individual themselves?
Oh, honestly, can I just start like this? I'm not a fan of the justice system, and not just because what's going on with me, but because I realize the crookedness and the viciousness of the system and the systems that's in the systems. But we ain't gotta get into all that. But a little bit, I think it should be like a combination of, of all those things that you mentioned, because if we rely solely on the person that I hurt or the family of the person that I hurt, they might not never forgive me. You know what I'm saying? And then the judicial system is just so so out of whack. Me doing the same exact crime as a white person or a person with some money, it just don't pan out. So I think that a little bit of both, a little bit of all of those things that you mentioned.
At what point does accountability shift from punishment to the possibility of redemption, if it ever does?
I mean, that's situational. I think it's all situational. It depends on what it is that took place and how it took place and who it was that you did it to. I mean, it's situational. Like me in particular, I think that when people who in the streets do something to people who in the streets, I think that these kind of things don't equal up to the why. It's some wild people in these prisons, man. Wild stuff. Like I don't think people that do stuff to kids should be forgiven. It's just I don't know. It's situational with me. But I've seen and be around people that's like diabolical. So to answer your question, I think that is situation. It all depends. It all depends on the situation.
All right. Does the seriousness of the harm committed permanently limit the right to a second chance, or should transformation outweigh the past?
Again, it's situational. Like you know what I mean. It all depends on what it was that took place and the gravity of what it was that took place and all the particulars that's involved. I can only speak really for my own self because everybody's circumstances in these situations is different. You know what I mean? But like I said before, things that happen with women and children, I think is like unforgivable. Like cardinal sins to me.
How much evidence of change is enough, and what forms of proof should matter the most? Behavior, service, insight, or time?
I think a little bit of all of those things that you mentioned. Growth do take time, and even if you don't want to change, it's like inevitable. Whether you're going to change for the better or for the worse, change is inevitable for each and every last one of us.
Can granting a second chance coexist with honoring the pain and loss of victims, or does it risk minimizing their experience?
Say that one more time.
Can granting a second chance coexist with honoring the pain and loss of victims, or does it risk minimizing their experience?
Um, no, I don't think. Yes and no. No, I don't think that it would minimize the pain of their experience. And yes, I think that all right, in the situation, let's use somebody died as a result of us being in the streets and whatever it was that took place. I think that if the person who actually, I think that if the person can help other people not do the same shit that got him in trouble, I think that it would like it kind of like balance it out. It's tragic that somebody lost their life as a result, but the silver line is, you know what I mean, he helped these kids not do what I mean, he saved other lives, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. What risk are we willing or unwilling to accept as a society when offering second chances?
There's always a risk in everything that we do. No risk, no reward, right? So, I mean, there's always going to be risk in everything. There's risk in business, there's risk in relationships, there's risk in trust, there's risk in being vulnerable. But those risks that living on the edge, that's the stuff that make it exciting. That's the stuff that makes it titillating. And that's right, bud.
All right. If we deny any second chances, even after proven courage and remorse, what message are we sending about the purpose of rehabilitation?
Miss, it's this system, this DOC is not about rehabilitation. It's about finance. This is a money making machine. They don't care about whether or not. Actually, they want you to go out there and commit more stuff. We dollar signs, big dollar signs. This is big business. They don't. If everybody stopped committing crimes, they a lot of people gonna be out of jobs. This is a business, big business.
Alrighty.
So yes.
Now, our last 5 questions will be more focused on the justice system and how you were treated.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, looking back at the moment you first encountered the justice system in your case, whether it was the arrest, interrogation, or trial, what parts of that process felt fair to you and what parts felt like your voice or perspective wasn't fully heard?
At no part did I feel like my voice was heard, and you know, the justice system is scary. Coming from places, man, I done been in all kind of stuff. I've been in shootouts and all kind of stuff, but it's a different kind of experience being in the courtroom and you got this person sitting above you and you sitting down low and they judging you about something that you may or may not have had done. And you know, these people, they speaking like over top of you, and that's another thing that made me like want to learn more because I don't like people talking over me, and I don't know what's going on. They're using words and phrases and things that I don't understand. And I, basically, it's all bad. No, I ain't have no good experiences. The system is jacked up and all that.
All right. Now, in your opinion, how did your identity as an African American man influence the way you were treated by either law enforcement, attorneys, judges, or juries throughout your case?
Bad. You can't hear me, boo? Can you hear me? Oh, I don't know. I want to say, bad. The system is in place. The you know, whenever you're dealing in capitalist situations, somebody always got to get the shitty end of the stick. You understand what I'm saying? And since it's their system, of course they gonna look out for their kind. Somebody got to get the foot on their neck. So we gonna make it be them. We ain't gonna make it be us. Do that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. How has incarceration affected your view of the justice system and society as a whole?
Well, my my view of the justice system has always been the same. The only difference is I didn't really have a problem with white people until I came upstate. I'm serious. You smiling? I really didn't. I didn't realize how. I didn't realize. I never really seen bigotry in like a sense of superiority from these boys. Like since I got up here, can't feel vicious. I'm like, you know, who you talking to, man? You calling you boy and all. Yo, man, it's bad. It's bad. So my view of the justice system has always been the same. You know what I mean? They against us, we against them. You know what I mean? Whatever, whatever. But I never really had a problem with white folks until I came upstate. Now, I never had a distaste of none of that for them until I got up here. And then it's not all of them. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's not that. But I never, you know what I mean? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think people outside of prison often misunderstand about the human impact of incarceration, especially on families, communities, and the individuals serving time?
It's no experience like a learning experience, like experiencing it for yourself. we all tend to have our opinions about a thing until you actually feel it or you actually are like immediately affected by it. So so the people who have jacked up perceptions about what jail is and what jail do to people and their families and their children and the victim's family and the victim's children, they don't they could never really know until they have firsthand experiences in it.
Alrighty, and our final question. If you
Yes.
had the opportunity to speak directly to lawmakers, judges, or people shaping criminal justice policy, what changes would you ask them to make based on your experience?
Well, for all the God fearing lawmakers and them individuals who's in position of power, I would say, how is it that y'all expect God to forgive y'all and y'all not willing to forgive other individuals who may or may not who may break the law? I know people that's in here forever that actually didn't do it. I know people that got 30 years in this job, 40 years, 37 years, and they really ain't do it. They over there, and the only reason why they still here because they stuck to a code. They didn't. You understand what I'm saying? It's like it's bad, and then the lawmakers is just not. They not willing to help. You know who that is. My baby. I'm in the meeting right now. I apologize. What was we saying? I apologize. They done made me lose my train of thought.
We were on if you had an opportunity to speak directly to lawmakers, judges, or people shaping criminal justice policy, what changes would you ask them to make based on your experience?
Just let it be a little more fair. I really don't know how to answer that question. That's something I had to think about.
Now, would you want them to be more fair to everybody, or do you think it's more towards like the African American people?
Well, the system is really against the African American people. Like it's a system, but it's like directed more to African Americans. And so the way that they do it is they had just zone off certain areas. Like in property they call it redlining, but this thing don't just stop there. It's like they do it in sections, so it won't seem like oh we just targeting black people. No, they do that whole neighborhood, the ghettos and things like that. I just want those things to change. If I had to say so in it.
Alrighty, well, I want to thank both of you guys for your time today. Thank you for answering all those lovely questions. Any final messages either one of you have for our viewers today?
I think I said it all. What about you, Boo?
I have nothing to say.
All right.
Why are you smiling?